Hello, my dear students. Welcome back after a long time. So today we'll go through the ICSE Class 10 History and Civics Specimen Paper 2025. Okay, so before that, let me share my screen so that it will be easy for us to go through it. So I'm using Microsoft Teams for it. So this is here. Okay, I'll keep it over here. So ICSE 2025 examination specimen question paper. So nothing much to do over here. Already marking scheme is also attached with it. So you can go through it. But still for the convenience of the students, I have decided to go through it one by one so that it will be easy for us to understand the concept properly. Okay. So it is all about, let's go through it. So you'll find it very, very helpful. Explanations also will be done over here. So part one, attempt all questions from this part. This part consists of 16 marks. Okay, MCQ is for MCQ type questions are given over here. So choose the correct answers to the questions from the given options. So first of all, it is given over here. On May 19, 2023, President of India exercised legislative power under Article 123 of the Constitution. During the period, Parliament was in recess to promulgate the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Ordinance 2023. And this was published in the Hindu newspaper on May 26, 2023. So what information about an ordinance can we obtain from the above passage? So the options are given over here. So we'll go with C. It is issued when the parliament is not functioning. Okay. Ordinance is a temporary law passed by the president when the house is not in session. Who made the amendment which resulted in the below headline? So question is, who made the amendment which resulted in the below headline? So the options are the Supreme Court, the President, the Parliament, the Prime Minister. So the answer is the Parliament. Okay, Parliament can go with the amendment. Now, question number 4, resident of Jodhpur X and Y got married in the year 2014 and after 4 months of wedlock, PT family issues and arguments resulted in their separation for 6 years. The matter was placed before the bench of Lok Adalat family court Jodhpur, wherein all efforts were made to reunite the family again. With constant efforts of counseling, parties agreed to live together and withdraw their divorce petition. So the question is, which advantage of Lok Adalat is highlighted in the above case? So we have already gone, that means I have already highlighted the option number C, works on the spirit of compromise. So it is the duty of Lok Adalat to come up with this result with the spirit of compromise. Okay. Now, district judge dash cases, session judges, criminal cases. Okay. So district judge, so session judges looks after the criminal cases, then district judges will look after the civil cases. Okay. Option number B, civil cases. Identify the exclusive powers of Rajya Sabha. So P, can introduce a new All India service, can impeach the president, can never be dissolved as a whole. So answer option number C, P and R. P and R is the correct option for question number 6. Okay. Now read the two statements given below about civil disobedience movement and select the option that shows the correct relationship between A and R. That means assessor and reasoning. Civil disobedience movement was renewed by Mahatma Gandhi, and the reason is the second round table conference was a failure. Okay, so we'll go with R is the reason. So it was due to the failure of second round table conference. So civil disobedience movement was renewed by Gandhiji again. Okay, so B, R is the reason for A. Now number 8, the government of country X has introduced a law similar to Albert Bill introduced in 1883. Who will be impacted by this bill? So definitely the farmers no, artisans no, the soldiers no. The answer is judges yes. So this bill will impact the judges. Now, the area in which Anand stays has had no water supply for 3 days in spite of repeated complaints. The residents have a meeting and discuss a few methods to resolve this problem. Being a follower of beliefs and methods of early nationalists, which of the following method is Anand not likely to approve? The answer is follow the method of boycott. So definitely peaceful processions of the residents, write a petition to the government, write an article to the newspaper highlighting the problem. So we'll go with B, the follow the method of boycott. That means which of the following method is not likely to approve. So is not likely to approve to follow the method of boycott. Number 10, which of the given policies is not aligned with the ideologies of the leaders seen in the picture? You can see the picture based on this. Which of the given policies is not aligned with the ideologies of leaders seen in the picture? So definitely holding pro-democracy rallies. Okay. So identify the odd one out of the following objectives of the Muslim League. So identify the odd one. So rest of them are accurate. Okay. So to promote among Muslim the Indian support for British, the answer will be B, to promote cultural and socio-economic cooperation among the Muslims. Okay. This is the odd one. School has organized a poster making competition on topics education empowerment for girls in India. Which of the following leaders would most likely to be a part of the poster? Okay, education empowerment for girls in India. So definitely Jyotiba Phule. Okay, he worked tirelessly for uplifting the education of women as well as uplifting the status of women in the society. Girls' schools were opened by Jyotiba Phule. Okay. Read the description and identify the person. He established the forward block and coined the slogan Delhi Chalo. So it is obviously Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay. Which of the following countries will not be part of this cartoon? So veto. Okay. So definitely on the basis of this, these 5 countries are there. Okay. So definitely China is also there, Russia is also there, Britain is also there, but Japan is not the permanent member of Security Council who possesses veto power. Okay. So the 5 permanent members of Security Councils are Britain, France, Russia, okay, USA, and that is China. Okay. Identify the cities most affected by American action in World War II. So definitely it is Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Okay, and it was due to the effect of atom bomb dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So first bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, that was on 6th of August 1945, and second one 9th of August 1945 at Nagasaki. Okay. Now, which of the following scenarios describe the non-aligned policy? So definitely we'll go with B. The country maintains relations with both factions during the Cold War and does not take sides. Okay. So after the Second World War, world was divided into power camps, and India and the other countries who decided to keep themselves far away from the power blocks. That is why they came up with a non-aligned policy. Now, question number 2, each question will carry 2 marks. So read the extract given below and answer the questions which follows. Congress members adjournment motion disallowed. The notice along with another move demanding a discussion on China was disallowed in the Lok Sabha. So this was published in the Times of India, February 10, 2023. Who can allow or disallow the above motion? What does the motion mean? So answer is the Speaker of Lok Sabha can allow or disallow the above motion. The motion means to give up on the business of the House and take up the matter of urgent national importance. Which category of power is being exercised by the president in the following? Approval of bills. So this is the legislative power of the president. Appointment of Supreme Court judges, executive power. Okay, so this is the executive power of the Supreme Court. That is a president of India. Now imagine you are an artisan in the year 1856. Okay, mention any 2 ways in which economic policies of the British would have affected you. So definitely I would have faced competition from machine-made goods resulting to the loss of livelihood. I could have lost my livelihood because I could not face the competition with the British-made machine goods. Okay. Now, give 2 reasons for the acceptance of Mountbatten Plan by the Congress. So, why was Mountbatten Plan accepted by the Congress? So, definitely, accordingly, you can see any 2, we can go through it. So, we'll go with, it was believed that smaller India with strong center would be more powerful than large India with a weak federation and weaker center. The rigidity of the Muslim League and the growing communal problem made partition appear as the only solution. Okay, so many more reasons are there. So, we'll go with any 2. Okay. So now, mention any 2 leaders of the assertive nationalists. So Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal. Two leaders they have asked, so you can go with any two of this. Mention any two objectives of League of Nations. Two. So I've given over here four, so you can go with any two objectives. Okay. So the first one is to protect the right of the Muslims. Second one is to put forward their problems in front of British rulers. And third one to spread loyalty towards the British among the Muslims. Okay. And the fourth one to prevent any feeling of hostility towards the other communities of India. If it is for 2 marks, so you can go with 2 points only. Name any two alliances formed in Europe before the beginning of First World War. So two alliances were Triple Alliance and Triple Entente. Okay, the first was Triple Alliance, and after that Triple Entente was formed. Okay, in Triple Alliance, Germany was there, Austria-Hungary was there, and Italy was there. Okay, and in the Triple Entente, Britain was there, France was there, and Russia was there. Okay, so this is the end of question number 2 from part 1. Okay, now let us move on to part 2, section A. We have to attempt any two questions from this section. 3 questions will be given and we have to attempt any two. So question number 3. Union Legislature of India is not only lawmaking body, but the center of all democratic political process. With reference to the parliament, answer the following questions. The first question is, the Lok Sabha is more powerful than Rajya Sabha. So justify this by mentioning any 3 points. So first of all, how Lok Sabha is powerful? Simple thing is that motion of confidence can be passed only in Lok Sabha. Money bills can be introduced only in Lok Sabha. Okay. In case of deadlock, two houses, the will of Lok Sabha prevails due to higher numerical strength. So definitely government can be formed in Lok Sabha only. Okay. Money bill can be introduced only in Lok Sabha. Okay. That means motion of no confidence can only be passed in Lok Sabha. So these are some of the points which can justify the power of Lok Sabha. Moreover, that means Lok Sabha is more powerful than Rajya Sabha. The next one is Rajya Sabha adjourned sine die over overall productivity at 79%. So Deccan Herald 21 December 2003. Who adjourned the above session? Explain the composition of this house. So it is all about Rajya Sabha they are talking about. Okay. So they are talking about Rajya Sabha. So who adjourned the above session? Explain the composition of this house. So the chairman or the vice president of India can adjourn the above session. That there are total 250 members. That means explain the composition of this house. So first of all, who can adjourn? The answer is the vice president, who is the ex office chairperson of Rajya Sabha. Okay, by default, he is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. And the composition of this house is composition of Rajya Sabha is there are total 250 members. Out of 250 members, 238 from the states and 12 members are nominated by the president. Okay. So these 12 members are nominated president by the president who have excelled in the field of art, science, social service, okay, literature and all. Okay. So these are some of the eminent people of our country who have excelled in different fields. Now, mention any 4 legislative powers of the parliament. So 4 legislative powers. So 4. So you can go with any 4. The first one is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha make laws on subject mentioned in the union list. Okay. And second one, both house also. That means both houses also make laws on concurrent list. That is also okay. The house can make laws on matters which are not included in any of the 3 lists. That means residuary powers we're talking about. Okay. Residuary power is that power. That means apart from all the 3 lists, remaining subjects falls under residuary powers, and union government, that is the parliament, has the power to make laws over residuary powers. Then the fourth one, the parliament can make laws on subject included in the state list during emergency. Okay, during emergency, parliament can make laws on the subject mentioned in the state list. When the Rajya Sabha passes a resolution stating the subject in the state list of national importance and 2 or more states in the Rajya Sabha want laws on the subject in the state list should be made by the parliament. Okay, so accordingly, any 4 of the powers of the parliament, that is legislative powers, you can go through it. The next one is the president is a nominal head of the executive, the first citizen of the country, as well as the commander-in-chief of Indian Armed Forces. With reference to this, answer the following questions. So the first question is, the president is a nominal head of the country and cannot act independently. Mention any three legislative powers of president which justifies the nominal position. So let's go with it. The president performs the following functions. So number one, you can see here. That means Prime Minister and his cabinet addresses the first session of the parliament. That is, president performs, that means the presidential address actually is the policies and programs of the prime minister and the cabinet that is addressed by the president. So it is prepared. That means a presidential address is prepared by the prime minister and the council. That is even the cabinet ministers. He can summon and prorogue the parliament. Okay. He nominates 12 members to the Rajya Sabha. So these are the one. The president is a nominal head of the country, cannot act independently. Any three legislative powers which justify the nominal position. Yes. That means he nominates 12 members. He gives assent to bill to make it a law. She can promulgate ordinance. So all these are the nominal powers of the president of India. Okay. So apart from discretionary power, rest of the powers belongs to the prime minister and the council of minister, exercised only when advised to the president of India by the prime minister and the council of ministers. Mention any three financial powers of the president. What are the three financial powers? Number one, no money bill can be introduced. First of all, let me tell you, money bill can only be introduced in Lok Sabha, but you need a permission. Okay, it is only on the recommendation of the president. That means money bill can be introduced without the prior recommendation of the president. That means no money bill can be introduced without the consent of the president. Then second one is he causes annual budget and supplementary budget to laid before the parliament. So it is all because due to president, he asked the finance minister of India to lay the budget in the parliament. Okay, so there also permission is required. Then the contingency fund is placed at the disposal of the president. And the fourth one is any three you can go through it. And the fourth one you can go with it. The financial commission is appointed by the president after every 5 years. So these are the three financial powers of the president of India. You can go with the one, no money bill can be introduced without the prior recommendation of the president. Then second one, he causes annual budget and supplementary budget to be laid before the parliament. And the last one, you can go through it. The financial commission is appointed by the president every after 5 years. Okay. The next one is describe the procedure of impeachment of the president. That means what is the procedure of impeachment? Okay. The first of all, the resolution may originate in either house. It can originate in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, wherever. Then a 14 days notice signed by at least 1/4 of the total members must be required. Then it must be passed by a majority of not less than 2/3. Okay, it must be passed by 2/3 of the total membership of the house. Then same procedure be adopted in other house. If passed by majority, the president stands impeached. So what is important? First one, 1/4. Okay, then to pass 2/3 is required. So once it is passed, then the president will be impeached. Okay, so this is the procedure of impeachment of the president, which can originate in either house, Lok Sabha. That means if a impeachment motion is passed by Lok Sabha, then Rajya Sabha will investigate it. And if it is in Rajya Sabha, then Lok Sabha will investigate it. And during the investigation, president will be present and he is given enough liberty to defend himself. Okay. Then number 5, the Supreme Court of India, based on Supreme Court, the question is asked by who appoints the judges of Supreme Court? The president is the one who appoints the judges of Supreme Court after consulting the senior most judges of Supreme Court. Okay, then mention any two qualifications. So definitely two qualifications. First one is must be a citizen of India, then must have the High Court judge for 5 years, or okay. So here we can mention. Here we can mention or. Okay, so because this is okay, this one will bring it. Okay, so must be a citizen of India. Then second one is must have the High Court judge for 5 years. The person must have served as a High Court for 5 years, or person must have been an advocate of High Court for how many years? 10 years. Okay. Now next one is under Article 129, the Supreme Court of India is called the Court of Record. So justify this statement with any 3 points. So simple. Number one, its judgments and orders are preserved as records. That means all the proceedings which takes place in the Supreme Court are recorded for future records and testimony. Okay, for future references and testimonies. Accordingly, you can see here, if judgment and orders are preserved as records, then this can be produced in any court as precedents and future references. And third one, if a person commits a contempt of court, court has the authority to punish him for contempt. Okay, so these are the 3 points. The next one, explain the following term, revisory jurisdiction and advisory jurisdiction. So what is revisory jurisdiction? Supreme Court revises its own cases to remove any error that might have crept in, because the judgment of the Supreme Court are like laws. Okay, the Supreme Court can revise its own case to remove any error that might have crept in. Okay, revisory. That means he can revise the judgment of its own. Okay, then advisory. Supreme Court play the role of an advisor also, like the Supreme Court. How the President of India can seek advices from Supreme Court on some legal matters, constitutional matters. But one thing we must keep it in mind, that it is not binding on the President. Okay, whatever advices are given by the Supreme Court judges are not binding on the President. Okay, the SC is also not obliged to give. That means number one condition is that if the President is seeking advice, then Supreme Court has a liberty to refuse it, deny it. Okay, and if advised, then it is not necessary that the President has to follow it. Okay. Now let us move on to section B. Attempt any 3 questions. 5 questions will be here, and out of 5, we have to go with 3. That means 30 marks. So it is based on question number 6 is based on the revolt of 1857. So based on revolt of 1857, the Great War of Independence. The first question is, with reference to these, answer the following question. British use many policies of expansion. Mention any 3. The first one is doctrine of lapse. Okay. No. First we can go with subsidiary alliance, then doctrine of lapse, then pretext of misgovernance. Okay. That means on the pretext of misgovernance, Awadh was annexed. So these are the 3 annexation policies. Number 2, how did the failure of this revolt impact the Mughals and the Peshwas? So number 1, the title of Mughal emperor was abolished following the death of Bahadur Shah II. The rule of Mughals came to an end. Okay, the revolt of 1857 ended the Mughal rule completely. Okay, and the office of Peshwa also was abolished. Then number 3, the Indian army was reorganized after 1858 to prevent the reoccurrence of another uprising. Analyze this statement by stating any 4 changes made in army after the revolt. So what were the 4 changes made? Number 1, number of British troops to Indian soldiers were increased. Number 2, artillery and other effective weapons were exclusively placed in European hands. Number 3, all important and high posts in the army were reserved for the Britishers. Indian soldiers belonging to different caste, class, and religion are mixed up to destroy their unity. So these are the 4 points, 4 changes made after the revolt of 1857 in the army. Now, question number 7. Nationalism refers to the feeling of oneness that emerges when people consider themselves as one nation. With reference to the growth of nationalism, answer the following question. On the basis of nationalism, we have to answer it. Name the first president of the Congress. Mention any 2 of its objectives. Number 1, W.C. Banerjee. Okay, Umesh Chandra Banerjee was the first president of Indian National Congress. Okay, mention any 2 objectives, 2 of its objectives. That means 2 objectives of Indian National Congress. 2. So 4 is given. You can go with any 2. Number 1, to promote friendly relations between the nationalist political workers from different parts of the country. Second one, to develop and consolidate feelings of national unity irrespective of caste, religion, or province. Third one, to formulate popular demands and present them before the government. And last one, to train and organize public opinion. Okay. Number 2, the press played an important role in the growth of Indian nationalism. So on the basis of the press, we have to answer it. The question is, mention any 3 points to analyze the role of press in the growth of nationalism. Number one, the press helped spread the ideas of patriotism. Number one. Number two, the modern liberal ideas of liberty also was spread. Freedom, equality, home rule, and independence. All these ideas were spread through the press. And number two, it criticized the British policies and helped Indians to exchange views. And third one, it made them aware of the happening in the world. What is happening in the world was spread through the newspaper. The newspaper highlighted the true nature of British administration. Okay. Number three, Lord Lytton's repressive policies led to the growth of nationalism. Mention any 4 policies enforced by him. So Lord Lytton's 4 policies. So this one is here. First one is there in the year 1877. Okay, Grand Delhi Darbar was held. Okay, in order to what you call it, in order to title Queen Victoria as the Kaisar Hind, okay, Empress of India. So when this famous Delhi Darbar was held in 1857, at that time South India was suffering from terrible famine. So this was a time when they needed a relief, but they were busy celebrating the Queen Victoria's like Kaiser Hind, the title was given to Queen Victoria. Number two, 1878 Arms Act was passed. Accordingly, Indians could not keep arms without a license. So Arms Act was passed in 1878 and accordingly Indians could not keep arms without a license, whereas Britishers can keep it. Okay. So third one is in the same year 1878 Vernacular Press Act was passed. Vernacular papers were not allowed to write anything against the government. That means according to Vernacular Press Act, they were not allowed to write anything against the government. If they violate it, their machinery will be confiscated. Okay, so all this tried to curtail the liberties of a press. The fourth one, so in the same year 1878, government announced new regulations reducing the maximum age limit for sitting the Indian Civil Service. That means the age limit to sit for ICS examination was reduced from 21 to 19. 21 to 19. So all these are the repressive policies of Lord Lytton. Number 8, read the excerpt given below and answer the questions that follow. So altogether, what is mentioned over here? March, which took place in India, was led by Mohandas Gandhi to protest British rule in India. During the march, thousands of Indians followed Gandhi from his religious retreat near Ahmedabad to the Arabian Sea coast, a distance of some 240 miles. The march resulted in the arrest of nearly 60,000 people, including Gandhiji himself. Okay. So name the march. So definitely the march we are talking over here is Dandi March. Okay, Dandi March, civil disobedience movement. That means the beginning of civil disobedience movement with the Dandi March. So next one is the movement which began with this march made a considerable impact on the social and political surrounding. So analyze this statement by mentioning any 3 impacts. So what was the impact? Okay. Number one, it succeeded in mobilizing the broad base of Indian population. The movement shattered people's faith in British India. The movement brought women out of their homes to participate in politics. And number four, the government was convinced that bold constitutional reforms were, however, essential. Okay. Mention any 4 clauses of Gandhi-Irwin Pact. 4. So let's go with it. First of all, this Gandhi-Irwin Pact was the result of the failure of first roundtable conference. Okay, so first one, withdrawal of ordinance and end prosecutions, release of all. So simple. Let me make it simple. So political prisoners will be released. Okay, those whose properties were confiscated will be restored. They will be allowed. Okay, that means the Indians will be allowed to prepare salt for their own consumption, not for selling. Indians can prepare salt only for consumption, not for selling. and the Congress accepted to attend the second roundtable conference. Okay, first of all, Congress, that means Gandhiji accepted to suspend the civil disobedience movement, and then he agreed to participate in the second roundtable conference. Okay, then next one, number 9. So you can see the picture. It's a cartoon over here. So this picture is all about Sarajevo murder. On the basis of this cartoon, we have to answer. Describe the incident depicted in the cartoon. So the answer is Archduke Francis Ferdinand, the heir to the throne of Austria, was assassinated at Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia, on June 20th, 1914. And this assassination was carried out by a secret society called Union of That, formed by extremist Serbian nationalists whose aim was to unite all Serbians into a single state. Okay, Austria served an ultimatum to Serbia, making 11 demands. Serbia accepted most of them except those that would have led to the loss of their sovereignty. So on July 28, 1914, Austria declared war on Serbia. That means the immediate cause of First World War was the Sarajevo murder, okay, or the Sarajevo crisis, and this was the beginning of First World War. Mention any 3 points to analyze how Europe was rearranged as a consequences of the war. That means what were the consequences of the First World War? We have to mention it related to rearrangement, okay. That means a map of Europe we are talking about. The 3 ruling dynasties. First of all, the ruling dynasty, Russia, Germany, Austria were destroyed. Okay. Rule of Ottomans also came to an end. Austria and Hungary became a separate independent states. Monarchy collapsed and there was a rise of democracy. It was the end of European supremacy. USA emerged as a world superpower, led to the rise of dictatorship. So all these were the consequences of the First World War. Germans describe the Treaty of Versailles as harsh and humiliating. Give any 4 reasons that justify this statement. So you can see here, Germany was held responsible for the war. Okay, she had to pay a huge war compensation of $33 billion. Okay, unjust. France got back Alsace and Lorraine, which she had lost in the Franco-Prussian War. Germany was forced to hand over Saar coal mines to France for 15 years. Okay, Rhine Valley in Germany was to be completely demilitarized. German army was restricted to a force of 1 lakh soldiers. Navy was limited to 15,000 men, 36 ships. So all this made the Germans feel that this was a humiliating treaty, and this treaty was forced upon them. Okay, so it was one of the dictated peace. So Treaty of Versailles also is known as a dictated peace, or we can say that Treaty of Versailles was the reason because of the Second World War II. Now, question number 10. United Nations Organization aims to maintain international peace with reference to its organs and agencies. Answer the following. What is the composition of the International Court of Justice? So what is the composition? So very simple. The International Court of Justice consists of 15 judges. 15 judges. Okay. They are elected by the General Assembly. The term, their term is for how many years? 9 years. So you must remember this term. First one, 15 judges, you have to remember. Second one, 9 years of term, you have to remember. And with 1/3 of judges retire every 3 years. Every after 3 years, 1/3 of the judges retire. Okay, 1/3 of the judges retire every after 3 years. Okay. No 2 judges can be a nationals of same country, but that means from the same country 2 judges not possible. Okay, so they must be from different nations. Now the court elects its own president and the vice president. Okay, simply composition is asked. Simply you can write up to, it consists of 15 judges and the term is 9 years, and every 3rd year 1/3 of the members retire. Okay, and no 2 judges can be the nationals of the same country. Okay, and if you want to mention, you can mention the headquarter of ICJ. Okay, headquarter of ICJ is in the Netherlands. That is the Hague in Netherlands. Mention any 3 functions of General Assembly. to discuss everything related to international peace and security and make recommendations. So what are the functions of General Assembly? So many are there. So any three you can go through it. First of all, to regulate the working of the three organs of the UN. Okay, to consider and approve the budgets of United Nations. Then you can go with to draw attention of member state to provide human rights to their citizens. So any three you can go through it. Okay. Now, Gujarat's Gujarat's famed Garba dance received the Intangible Heritage Tag. Which agency of United Nations authorized to give this tag? So answer is UNESCO. Answer is UNESCO has the right to tag. Okay. Okay. Then next, within this same question, one more question is there. Mention any three other contributions of the agency in the preservation of the culture. Number one, provide technical advice, provide funds to preserve monuments, prepared a World Heritage List. Prepare, okay, so you can prepare a World Heritage List and identifies monuments to be protected, protects rare manuscripts. So this is all about the specimen paper for 2025. You can get it on the CISE website with all the marking scheme. The motive was to make you sit and understand and go through it logically. Okay, because most of the students, they don't show interest going through the specimen papers and all. Okay, so hope this video will help you a lot. So for further videos, you can please check my channels. Few more videos will be uploaded very soon. So thank you very much for watching.